welcome back to Song of the Morning. My name is Shannon and I will be teaching a Hatha Yoga class today. It'll be gentle and less than an hour. It will be a little bit more active than the last class that I taught, but I will be guiding you so you feel comfortable and secure. Okay, so let's get started. I would like to start off by reading a passage in the Shambhala Pocket Classics by Pema Chodron, who is a Buddhist nun that has some really wonderful teachings to share. And I found this really great passage in here that I thought would work really well with a Hatha Yoga class. It is called Perfection is Like Death. We think that if we just meditated enough, or jogged, or ate perfect food, everything would be perfect. But from the point of view of someone who is awake, that's death. Seeking security or perfection, rejoicing in feeling confirmed and whole, self-contained and comfortable, is some kind of death. It doesn't have any fresh air. There's no room for something to come in and interrupt all that. We are killing the moment by controlling our experience. Doing this is setting ourselves up for failure, because sooner or later we're going to have an experience we can't control. Our house is going to burn down. Someone we love is going to die. We're going to find out we have cancer, or somebody's going to spill tomato juice all over our weight suit. The essence of life is that it's challenging. Sometimes it is sweet and sometimes it is bitter. Sometimes your body tenses and sometimes it relaxes and opens. Sometimes you have a headache, and sometimes you feel 100% healthy. From an awakened perspective, trying to tie up all the loose ends and finally get it together is death, because it involves rejecting a lot of your basic experience. There is something aggressive about that approach to life, trying to flatten out all the rough spots and imperfections into a nice, smooth ride. To be fully alive, fully human, and completely awake is to be continually thrown out of the nest. To live fully is to be always in no man's land, to experience each moment as completely new and fresh. Let's take a deep inhale and draw a circle around the body with the arms. Reaching up, expanding the belly. And exhale, draw the palms together towards the heart center. In Anjali Mudra. Let's take a moment to reflect on these words. Setting an intention to accept every experience exactly how it is, without trying to control it, without wanting it to be something else, without judging it. And then when we can do that, we can allow ourselves to sink more deeply into the present moment. And when we're able to become more present, we're able to connect more fully with our higher self. Let's bring yourself into the present moment by noticing our breath. So we'll place our hands down into our thighs, and we'll start by taking a quick double inhale through the nostrils and then a quick double exhale through the mouth, like this. Again. And one more time. Exhaling completely and fully. And if you're not sitting on something and you feel a little bit uncomfortable, you may want to put something underneath your sit bone so you feel a little bit more comfortable and your hips and spine feel aligned. Let's bring one hand on the heart, another hand on the belly. And now we'll just start to breathe naturally. noticing if the belly is expanding with the inhale, or the chest is expanding with the inhale, or maybe both are gently expanding. Just notice. Notice what areas of the body are softening with the exhale. Maybe you can notice the temperature of your own skin against the palm of your hand. Maybe you can feel your heartbeat underneath your top palm. On your next exhale, when you're ready, you'll just place both hands down to the thighs. Okay, we can begin our Hatha flow. And if you have any blocks, that would be great. We'll need 2 blocks. Otherwise, feel free to find something that is like a block, maybe some books. Another thing that we'll be needing to use is a chair. And so it's nice to have a chair handy if you feel like you might need it, because we're going to be doing some balancing postures. Let's take a deep inhale and draw a circle around the body with the arms, reaching up, expanding through the fingertips. And exhale, we'll come down, place the palms onto the floor, and we'll gently bring yourself into a table position. Now that we're in table, we're going to put our wrists underneath our shoulders, knees underneath our hips. We're going to engage the abs just slightly for support. You want the back to be flat like a table. So we're going to point the front of our head towards the wall in front of us, and then the nose points towards the floor. Elbows are soft. And on the inhale, we'll just gently arch the spine. Lift the chin, lift the hips, just lifting the neck, extending the neck as far as it feels good for you. And then exhale, round the spine, hips tuck in, chin tucks in. Inhale, arching. And exhale, rounding. So finding your own unique rhythm. Allowing your breath to guide the movement. Staying present within the body. So we're gently lubricating the spine here, allowing, kind of creating movement in between every little vertebrae. Okay, we'll come back to a neutral spine. Now we'll start to bend the spine to its side. So on your exhale, we'll just bring the right ear to the right hip and right hip to the right ear, so your spine is going in the shape of a C. We're not going to rotate the neck, we're just bending the neck, so nose points directly at the floor. And then on your inhale, we'll just gently bend the spine in a C shape into the opposite position. And then your exhale will come back to the other side. So again, flowing with your breath, moving into positions that feel comfortable for you. Okay, we'll come back to a neutral position. Now we're going to just rotate the neck and rotate the pelvis. So the thighs aren't going to move. And you're just going to think of the top of the spine and the base of the spine rotating, but the center of the spine stays flat. So on your exhale, just bend the chin, tuck the hips, And then start rotating the neck and rotating the pelvis at the same time. Moving with the breath. You want to make sure your shoulders are not up towards your ears. And then we'll go the opposite direction. Exhaling, coming down, inhaling, coming up. Okay, we'll come back to a neutral spine again. Now let's take the left foot and we're just going to kick it out, kind of like a kickstand. Root the left foot into the floor and we'll engage the core and gently walk the hands towards the body, and slowly we're going to bring ourselves up into our knee. So now that the left foot is rooted, the left shin and ankle are rooted into the mat and we feel nice and stable. Our abs are also engaged. We're going to take a deep inhale and lift the left arm up. The right arm comes up, left arm comes down the thigh. Breathing into the right side body, feeling the ribs gently expand away from each other. Left shoulder is down away from the left ear. Maybe you can feel that left cheek gently fall towards the floor. And on your next exhale, gently bring that right arm down onto the floor to your right side. You can put it on the block if you feel like you need some more support there. You don't want to bend too far down. And as you inhale, we'll lift the left arm up, opening up the left side ribs. Right shoulder's away from the right ear, left foot is still rooted into the floor, softening the pelvic floor, connecting with the breath. That will create a little flow out of it. So on your inhale, we'll gently come up. Exhale, left arm comes down, right arm comes up. Inhale, we'll come back to center. Exhale, right arm comes down, left arm comes up. Inhale, coming back up. Exhale, coming down. Inhale up. Exhale down. One more time. Inhale, come up. Exhale, come down. Now we're going to place our hands back onto the mat. Bring the left leg back. Now we're going to send it behind the body. The right knee is going to come forward, and we're going to work to bring our right shin parallel with the front of the mat. And my leg doesn't want to do that, and that's okay because we're not trying to be perfect. And the left leg, you can either keep the toes tucked, or you can point the toes, whatever feels good for you. I'm just going to inhale gently here and arch the spine. This is a gentle way to open up your left hip flexor, which can get really tense if we do a lot of sitting down. This is also a really good way to relieve sciatica, which is a nerve that gets pinched in your glute if you do a lot of sitting. And as you exhale, we'll just slowly come all the way down into our pigeon pose. The elbows are going to come down first, and you can gently let the head come down if that feels good for you, or if you want to stay up high, if that feels better, you can do that. Another thing that feels really good to do is if you take a block and you place it underneath your forehead, allowing the cheeks to fall down towards the floor, resting the eyes. Connecting with the breath again. Staying present. On your next inhale, slowly start to come up. And we'll take that right leg and gently cross it over the left leg. If that feels good for you. Maybe it stops here and that's fine too. If the leg crosses, then you can lower into the elbows and sink down into your hips. You can let the back of the neck soften. Connecting back with the breath. Noticing what area of the body is expanding when you inhale. Maybe you can feel your back expand with the breath even. Maybe you can allow the back of the neck to soften even more. On your next inhale, we'll slowly start to come out of this posture. Uncross the knees. We're going to straighten the knees now. And gently lower down into the belly, keeping our elbows bent. We're going to come up into a gentle back bend now. So either you can come into Sphinx pose, or you can take the hands and put them underneath your shoulders, and you're just gently going to roll the shoulders back, arch the spine into cobra. Connect with the breath again. Rooting the palms into the floor. And on your exhale, we'll gently lift the hips up and sink them back into the ankles, or towards the ankles. And then on your next inhale, gently come back up towards a table posture. And then we'll do the other side. So right leg kicks out to the right side, rooting the right foot. Engage the core for stability, walk the hands towards the body, and we'll gently come up onto that left knee. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, right arm comes down towards the right leg. Inhale, left arm comes up. Inhaling into the left side body. Maybe you notice that right knee goes soft. Maybe you notice the jaw goes soft, the right shoulder goes down. Left arm is over the left ear. Inhale, slowly come up. And we'll bring a block onto the left side of the body, if that feels good for you. Root the left hand into the block. And as we inhale, we'll bring the right arm up now. Left shoulder stays down and away from the left ear, rooting the right foot into the floor. We're rooting the left shin into the mat, connecting with the breath. On your next inhale, we'll slowly start to come back up. And exhale, come down to the other side. Left arm comes up. Moving into our flow, inhale, come up. Exhale, come back down. Moving at your own rhythm. Inhale up, exhale down. One more time. Take a deep inhale and exhale, hands come down, place them back into the mat. This time the right leg goes straight behind the body and then the left leg bends, and you're going to bring the left shin parallel with the mat, and this left shin really doesn't want to do that because I had a hip surgery. So finding a place that feels comfortable for you, we're going to just gently arch the spine. You can come up on your fists if that feels good for you. Lifting the chin, opening up the chest. Again, that back ankle can be tucked or straight. And on your next exhale, just slowly come down into our pigeon pose. Maybe putting your forehead on the block if that feels good for you. Let's take a few moments to connect with the breath here. On your next inhale, slowly start to come up. And we're going to cross that left leg over the right leg. And again, if your leg doesn't want to do that, and if this position is good enough for you, that's fine. And then we'll gently sink the hips back as far back as they will go towards your ankle. And then we'll gently put the forehead back onto the block, or not on the block. And soften. On your next inhale, slowly work your way back up. And we'll uncross the leg, mindfully, slowly. We'll come back into a table position. From table, we'll lower down into our belly, extend the legs. And again, we can come up into our Sphinx pose, where the elbows are underneath the shoulders. Gently arching the spine, or we can come into our cobra, hands under the shoulders, elbows close to the sides, chest is open. Connect with the breath. And on your next exhale, we'll gently shift the hips down towards the ankles. Come back into our table pose. We're going to work our way into downward dog. So we'll tuck the toes, engage the core, lift the knees off the mat just a couple of inches. Send the hips up towards the sky, keeping the knees bent, inhaling into the side body. And when you're ready, start to extend the knees, sinking the heels into the floor as far as it feels good for you. Maybe both knees stay bent because you may have some pretty tight hamstrings, which most of us do. Maybe just bending one knee at a time, gently lengthening and opening the back of the legs. Connecting with the breath. You don't want to force the muscles open here. You can think of, instead of stretching the muscle, think of guiding it open, creating space and length. Exhale, we'll bend the knees, walk the feet in between the palms, and we'll come up halfway with a straight spine, crown of the head reaching towards the wall in front of you, nose pointing towards the floor, knees soft. And exhale, we'll fold from the waist, bend the knees if you need to, if you start to feel your spine wants to arch forward, we don't want that. We want the spine to stay as straight as possible. So you may need to bend the knees in order to do that. Maybe dropping the back of the neck. Connecting with the breath here. Setting the tailbone up. And as you inhale, we'll slowly start to come up. Arms come around the body. And exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Let's connect back with our intention here. Our intention to let go of perfection. Allowing space for every moment to be exactly as it is. Sinking deeper into the present moment. Okay, let's bring your hands down to the side. Now we're going to come into just a basic mountain pose, equal standing. So look down at your feet, and you want to make sure that your feet are in line with each other. Your knees are soft. They're not locked back into position. You might be able to see here in my leg that they're locked back. You don't want that. You want them to go a little bit soft, not bent, but just a little bit of a cushion there. And then my knees also want to go inward towards each other. Instead of doing that, if your knees want to do that, then press your weight into the sides of your feet, and your knees will just kind of naturally open up and start to become in line with the ankles and the hips. Check in with your pelvis. You want to make sure your pelvis isn't tilting forward, and it's feeling level. Shoulders are down, heart's forward, arms are down to your sides. We'll take an inhale, raise the arms up. Lengthen the body, reaching up with the crown of the head, and the base of the spine sinks further towards the earth. Feet press into the floor. And on your exhale, we'll gently come forward, bending from the waist, keeping the spine as straight as possible, bending the knees if you need to, dropping the back of the neck. Inhaling, coming up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, slowly coming all the way up, drawing the circle around the body. Maybe arching the spine, and exhale, palms back to heart center. We're going to go do 2 more of these half sun salutations. Inhale, arms coming up, arching, knees are soft. Exhale, fold from the waist, bending the knees as you go, if you need to. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, coming all the way up. And exhale. Reconnect. Inhale. Exhale. Navel to spine. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Palms to heart. Okay, let's take the right leg back. Both arms coming up. We're going to root the back foot, root the front foot, bend into the left knee. Hips are square with the front of the mat, coming into our warrior 1. Adjust the posture into whatever position feels comfortable for you. And connect with the breath. Shoulders are down, heart's open, palms are soft. Maybe the pelvic floor softens. See if you can feel our back expand with the inhale. And as we exhale, we're just going to pivot that back foot towards the right side of the room. Both arms are going to come down parallel with the floor into our warrior two. So we're lunging into the left knee, breathing into the back. Now we'll send the right arm down the back leg. Inhale, left arm comes up, arching the spine. Right shoulder comes down and back. And when you're ready, exhale, front hand comes down, and you can pivot that back foot forward, and we're just going to step the back foot to meet the front foot back into an equal standing. Inhale, draw a circle with around the body with the arms. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, coming all the way up. Soften the knees. Exhale. Good. Now we'll send the left foot back, coming into our warrior one on the right side. So we'll lunge into that front foot with the right knee. Hips are square with the front of the mat. Inhale, both arms come up, shoulders are soft, chest is open. Breathing into the back. On your next exhale, pivot that left foot so it faces the left wall. Bend into the right knee. Maybe widening the stance if that feels good for you. Both arms come down. Gazing past the right fingertips, arms level with the floor. And connecting back with the breath. So we're reaching here, reaching away from the heart, reaching down into the earth with the feet, finding that infinite endpoint, reaching up with the crown of the head. Feeling into the body. On your next exhale, I'll bring the left arm down. Inhale, right arm comes up. Breathing into the right rib cage. Left shoulder is down and rolled back. On your next exhale, we'll gently come back up. Right arm comes down. Pivot that back foot forward again. We'll bring the knees facing, or the hips facing forward, and then we'll just step forward with the back foot. Inhale, draw a circle around the body with the arms, finding that equal stance. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, coming all the way up. Exhale, arms, palms to heart center. Right foot comes back again. Inhale, we're coming into our warrior one. Lunging into the left knee, hips are square with the front of the mat. And take a nice deep breath here. On your next exhale, pivot that back foot. We're going back into our warrior two, adjusting your stance if needed. Rotating the neck. Softening the pelvic floor. Inhale, left arm comes up, back arm comes down. And we'll slowly bring both of our arms back down into a warrior two. But then we're just going to shift that back foot forward again. We're going to rotate the spine to kind of a warrior two rotation. Just rotating it as far as it feels good for you, and then we're gazing towards the left fingertips. Exhale, back foot meets the front foot. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, coming all the way up. Engaging the core. Arch the spine. Exhale, palms come to heart center. Good. Left leg goes back now. Warrior one on the right side. Both arms come up, lunging into the right knee. Exhale, pivot that back foot towards the left wall, coming down into a warrior two. Connecting with the breath. Drop the back arm down, inhale, right arm comes up. Inhale, bring both arms back into a warrior two position. We're going to pivot that back foot forward slightly as we rotate the spine towards the right wall. Gazing towards the back fingertips. And connecting with the breath, rooting into the feet, engaging the core. And exhale, back foot meets the front foot. Find your equal stance. Inhale, arms come up. And exhale, fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, coming all the way up. And exhale. Okay, we're going to come into our balancing postures. So to start practicing balance, what we'll do is go into our equal standing position. So feet are in line with each other, knees are in line with the ankles, the pelvis is also in line and in level, heart's open. So we'll gently start to shift the weight into the right foot, and we're going to take all the weight off of the left foot. Just notice how that feels. So we're engaging the hips slightly, the knees feeling strong, while all that weight is now onto the right foot. And then we'll slowly shift the weight onto the left foot. And again, just notice how that feels in the left leg, feeling stable and secure in this whole left side of the body. And we'll just gently shift from back and forth, just noticing the weight shifts. Getting familiar with where your weight is placed. Okay. So now find your equilibrium, back into center. And then we'll shift all the way into the right leg. And we'll just start to bring the left foot towards the right leg. And maybe you can just come up on the ball of the foot and you place the heel on the inside of that right leg. You want to work towards opening up that left knee, opening up the hip. And if you'd like to challenge yourself more, we can go up into the tip of the toe. And if that feels good for you, we can maybe slide the foot up and resting it against the inside of the calf. Or if you want to go a little bit further, we can take that leg and bring it on the inside of the right thigh into our tree pose. So left knee works towards opening up the hip. Now place our palms together at the heart. And it's helpful to find a point of focus that is in line with the horizon to stare at. So it's called a drishti. It's a gazeless gaze that helps to keep us balanced and stable. Connecting with the breath here. Another exhale, we'll just slowly bring that leg back down, or you can bring it down all the way, or if you want to go right into Warrior 3, we can do that. So into Warrior 3, we're just going to send that leg towards the back of the room, and you can place your hands onto a chair if you have one. And your hands can go towards the back, behind you. They can stay in the center of your chest. They can come out in front of you. Nose points at the floor. Again, this doesn't have to be perfect. And when you're ready, slowly come back up into equal standing. Maybe bring that right ankle out, right hip out. Okay, we'll shift the weight now into the left foot. And we'll just gently start to take your time with it. So the ball of the foot is still on the floor. Heels on the inside of that left leg. And if that feels good and you want to keep going, we'll go up onto the tip of the toe. And then sliding that foot up a little bit more, maybe onto the calf, inside of the calf. And then maybe bringing the foot all the way up the thigh. You want to make sure the foot isn't on the knee. Okay, once you find stability here, maybe bring the hands to the heart and finding that gazeless gaze. Maybe you can feel your breath against the tips of your fingers. If you have a chair, maybe you can hold onto the chair for support too. And then when you're ready, we'll go into our Warrior 3. So maybe you can put your foot down first, or you can hold onto a chair, or you can just directly go right into it. So we're kicking the right leg back, and the front of the body comes down. Nose points towards the floor, working towards straightening that back leg. If you're shaking, that's good. Engage the right glute. And when you're ready, exhale, we'll slowly come back down. Drop the right foot, and we'll bring that left ankle out. All right, we'll go back to doing one more half sun. So we'll come back to the top of the mat. Inhale, drawing a circle around the body with the arms. Rooting the feet. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. Place the hands down into the mat, and then we'll come into our table posture. And then in table, if you'd like to kind of just bring the hips around in a circle, you can do that, or maybe bending the spine like we did earlier, just moving into a position that feels comfortable. Okay, we'll sit down into the mat now. So you want to find the center of the mat. Legs go straight. Arms come out in front of you, and then engage the core and slowly bring yourself down into the mat that way. Or you can let your palms and your elbows guide you down. So you're letting the back settle against the floor. Just take a moment to reorient yourself in space. Maybe you can notice the belly expand with the breath. Maybe you notice the back expand. Let's bend the knees, and we'll root the feet. Arms can come out to a T. Knees will come together. We'll walk the feet apart to the edges of the mat. And on your exhale, just send the knees down to the left side. And gazing or rotating the neck towards the right. Maybe softening the eyes. Allowing the jaw to go soft. Noticing what's happening with the fingertips And the palms of the hands, if the hands are stiff or soft. Noticing the pelvic floor, if it's tense or not. Gently inhale, bring the knees back to center. And exhale, another drop down to the opposite side, gazing towards the left side of the room, rotating the neck. Maybe you notice that left cheek softens towards the floor. On your next inhale, slowly bring the knees back to center. Draw the feet together, and we'll let the knees come apart. And let them soften down towards the floor as far as they'll go. Let's place one hand on the chest and one hand under the belly and just reconnect with your higher self at the present moment. Feeling into your heartbeat. On your next inhale, slowly bring the knees together. Straighten the legs. Arms can come down to your sides into your Shavasana, your peaceful pause. Allowing the body to absorb the effects of the practice. Keeping your awareness into the present moment. Allowing all thoughts that enter into your consciousness to gently drift on by. Staying centered and anchored within the self. If your thoughts have drifted, gently bring them back to the breath. Let's take the arms up. And back of the body, stretching towards the back of the wall, the back wall. Reaching down with the feet. Lengthening, opening. Deep inhale, expand. And exhale, soften. Good. Again, deep inhale, lengthen, creating space within the body. And exhale. One more time. Deep inhale. And exhale completely. Bend the knees. And drop the knees towards the right side of the body, coming into a fetal position. You can use the upper arm as a pillow. And just notice how you feel. And place the top arm onto the floor and gently push yourself up into a comfortable seated meditation posture. Taking your time. Maybe sitting on a block or a cushion for support. Take a deep inhale with the arms, drawing them around the body in a circle. And exhale, bringing the palms back down to the heart. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings be happy and free, and may we contribute to that happiness and freedom for all. The light and divinity in me honors the light and divinity in you. Namaste.